Right, this is a channel for the girls who get it. If you are a girl who does not get it, this is not the channel for you. I think this is it. I think this is what the girls have been looking for. Sometimes you don't need to talk too much. Sometimes you just gotta let the face talk for itself. I think this is just stunning. Like, this is for the girls that get it. If you're not a girl that gets it, I don't really understand what you're doing here, because this is the place for the women that get it. Anyway, this is future me who has now already done this eyeshadow look. The me you're going to be watching doing this eyeshadow look, she was really stressed out. At one point, she was genuinely considering, like, if she was to wipe this off, how would she go about it? Because she now had green on her nose bridge, and she was thinking, if it was just my eyes I could wipe it, but on my nose bridge, is that not restarting your base? But anyway, God prevailed, you know. The devil tried, but he failed. Don't know if I will say this is an informative video. I was really stressed out while making this video. So yeah, I feel like if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to me YouTube and definitely me TikTok. TikTok is yappa yappa central. YouTube's just a bit long because editing a video, it's like a 3-4 working days task, you know? But TikTok, that's where you're gonna find me. Okay, that's where you're gonna find me. But yeah, anyway, I really hope you enjoy, like, yeah. So I've already done my face, and I'm going to apply like a really light layer of pressed powder just underneath my under eye, just so if I get any fallout, it will be easier for me to just sweep it off. It's just a very light layer of powder. I don't actually know if it works. Like, now I'm deep in it, I don't know if it actually works. I just see people doing it, so I guess I'm also doing it, but hey, evil. So I'm going in with my Made by Mitchell colour case, and I'm using the colour High Base. So I've just warmed up that colour on the back of my spatula. The curved case can be quite dry, but if you warm it up, like if you play with the product, it gets looser, it's a lot easier to blend. If you go in with a product straight from the pan, yeah. I'm going to go in with a small cut crease brush because I usually use a cut crease brush anyway to carve out my brow. Right now there's currently no product on my actual eyelid. I haven't gone in with any concealer or anything like that, so I'm going in straight with this product on a basically clean, clear, blank canvas on my eyelid. The only place where this product is, there's a little bit of bronzer there, but otherwise there's no product anywhere else. You want to make sure that you blend out the edges of this product straight away, because if you leave it to dry, it's impossible to blend it out. So make sure you blend it out straight away then and then. You want a really nice diffusion. You don't want like any harsh lines or harsh edges. You want to make sure that the edges are really well blended out, so that when you like start to put in your shadows and your other stuff, it all blends in together seamlessly.
One thing about me on this channel is I'm really going to try to explain why I do what I do. So the reason we're using a green base first is because if we just go in with green or a colourful eyeshadow first, it's not going to pop as much. But if the base colour is similar, it's just going to make it even more vibrant. So right now I'm still using a green base.
I'm going to go in with this shading brush. This is a Morphe brush, but it doesn't have a number on it anymore. But I'm going to use this brush to apply a little bit of concealer onto my lid, so that when I go in to apply my eyeshadows, they have something to stick to. If you're coming towards the green, make sure you've gotten rid of excess product, and you just want to merge the two together very, very slightly, because I don't want to mess about with the green. I want the green to stay as pigmented as it currently is, but obviously I'm going to need to apply a little bit of concealer to that area. Once you've applied a bit of concealer to your lid, you can go in with just a clean eyeshadow brush and just kind of diffuse the edges of your concealer into your green colour. Just blend out the edges here where your concealer meets your cream contour. You want your concealer and your green base to blend in seamlessly.
Right guys, wish me luck. I'm gonna try to do a voiceover. I'm going in with a cool tone brown, and I'm going in with a nice big fluffy brush, buffing this into the front of my brow, into this nose bridge area. This is gonna soften the front of your brow if your brow's looking too harsh, but it also acts as a nose contour. Too many people are just doing straight lines down the nose, not knowing that the nose connects to the brow. So like, what are we doing? So yeah, buff that into the front of your brow. Then we're gonna go in with a nice warm tone brown, Say Yes, and this is gonna help to warm up that cool tone brow, because sometimes cool tone brows can look a little bit grey. So we're using a slightly smaller brush, and we're just gonna warm it up just so it blends really nice into the rest of my skin, because my skin is not grey, it's brown, like a nice brown. Then I'm going in with this flat shading brush, and I'm packing this green eyeshadow onto where I put this hibiscus colour. This is why it's so important to have used a green base, or if you don't have a green base, use a lighter coloured base so that the eyeshadow has something to stick to and to really pop. Then I'm going in again with a nice small fluffy brush, and I'm going in with this chocolate brown, and I'm basically focusing it above my crease, and I'm bringing it out onto like my outer brow area, and I'm going to buff it down into the top of my lash line, kind of creating this V shape. This step is so important. Take your time, be slow, get that V shape perfect, because this is what's going to give you that lifted, sultry look. Like, you really want to take time to carve out this V shape, this lifted shape. Then I'm going in with a slightly smaller blending brush, and I'm lifting up this chocolate brown into the very tail, into the very end of my brow, kind of just curving it up a little bit. Then I'm going to use this exact same brush, but I'm going to go in with that cool tone brown again, so Royal Status, and I'm focusing this into my upper lash line, and I'm going to use this to kind of create like a soft diffused wing look. This is kind of like going to be a base for the liner that I go into later. I also bring it a little bit higher up, and I focus it in that V shape. So the V shape that I created before, I'm going in not with a lot of product, but whatever's on that smaller brush, just V'ing it out. Then I'm going in with a clean brush, and I'm just blending everything out, making sure that everything is nice, smooth and seamless. Then I'm going in with this nice beige colour, and I am packing it onto my lid. I'm packing it just under my brow bone area, and this is gonna help to make my eyes look brighter, look bigger, and it's also gonna kind of like carve out the nose contour. But I realised that it wasn't sticking, so I went in with a little bit more concealer, not a lot, and I just put it on. Because basically, if there's no concealer on your lid, the eyeshadow's not going to have anything to stick to. But yeah, I go back in between my different brushes just to make sure that that beige diffuses perfectly with the rest of my eyeshadow. So yeah, take your time, go in between brushes, go in between your brown brush, the beigey brush, and basically blend. That's the name of this game. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, this is what I wanted to tell you. Do you see how in this area my nose contour now looks more like snatched? That's what the beigey thing did. It also made my eyes look brighter. Rewind if you need to see and you need to understand, but basically go back in between your brushes, blend. You want that beige to blend seamlessly into the brown. Then I'm going in, I don't know what colour that is, but that colour, and I'm only applying this to like my tear duct area. I only need it there because I want that area to be the most brightest. Apply a little bit of it, then you want to take a clean blending brush and you want to blend out the edges. So blend it into your eyelid and also blend it down into your under eye. You don't want to blend out the whole thing, you just want to be blending out the edges, if that makes sense, because you want it to stay bright. Like if you look at my eyes, my tear duct area, it's nice and bright and wide and ooh. But everywhere else it's like just like, yeah, do you know what I mean? But basically blend out the edges. I don't know how else to say it to you, but put it on and then blend out the edges. Oh, this clip is longer than I remembered. go back in between your brushes. Don't be scared to pick up a brush that you previously used to blend things out. Anyway, pop the green on, then I go in with a nice fluffy brush and I'm diffusing out the green and making sure that the edges of the green eyeshadow are nice and diffused out. We don't want any harsh lines. One thing about me that I hate with eyeshadow is harsh lines. Anyway, I'm now going back in with that big fluffy brush that I used to apply the cool tone brown on. I've not added any shadow. I'm using whatever shadow is left over on that brush, and I'm connecting my nose bridge area to the outer part of my eye and bringing it down and across my eye. I'm going in with this nice chocolatey colour and I'm applying it onto my lids, like in that inner V area. This is like a transition shade. It's a transition between that beigey colour and the darker cool tone brown on the outside. But yeah, if you mess up, just go in with a little bit more of your green base and just buff it and just sort out the mess that you've made. Yeah, what am I doing? Blending. The name of this game is blend. Honestly, I was so stressed out about this look. I thought it looked terrible, but you actually just need to blend. Anyway, I'm going in with Say Yes, that warm tone brown from the beginning, and I'm going in with a very small eyeshadow brush and I'm just focusing it just in my inner brow bone area. You can see the definition it is adding, and this is also helping my nose to look more snatched, more contoured. But yeah, just focus it on this inner nose bridge area and I just bring it slightly out just to make sure that all of my eyeshadows looks like it's part of the same eye. There's no gaps, there's no gappiness. Then anyway, you can go back in again with a clean brush, make sure everything's blended out beautifully. Then I'm going in with these two shimmery bubble pink shades. I'm going in with like a flat cut crease brush and I'm just applying it to the center of my lid. Your eye is like a ball. When the light hits a ball, it only hits the top of the ball. So that's how you should treat your eyelid. Hey, English is fighting me. Only put the shimmer the very center, the very top of your eyelid area, because that's where the light hits. That's where you want it to be the brightest. Anyway, then I'm going in with a clean dense pointed brush and I'm just blending out the very edges of the product. Only place the product where you want it, because when you go in with your small dense brush, you're only blending out the edges. Do you see how I'm going in between my clean brush and the cut crease blush that I'm using to apply the shadow upon the lid? Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Only apply the shimmer to the center of your lid, basically. Only apply it to the center of your lid, then use a clean, dense brush to blend out the very, very edges. If you need more, go back in with more. Hey, then I'm using that vanilla shade over there. It's like a pearlescent shade, and I'm just applying this to the very top of my shimmer and also to the very center. I'm not going in with a lot of this. I only want a little bit of this because I want, like, when I like move my face and the light hits my face, for like those areas to be like really shiny and really pretty. But yeah, anyway, I'm going back in now, just blending everything out. I am really going back in with that cool tone brown because this is kind of creating the wing. This is what's giving me that lifted, sultry look. Yeah, sorry, bye.
So I've nearly done with my eyes now. I'm basically going to go in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I am just applying it in this inner part of my eye just because I want extra brightness there.
Hi guys, I'm back. So I'm going in with this iFlix pen from the company 17. She is stunning. In the past I've used the NYX felt tip eyeliner, but this one's miles better. The tip of this one is so much more rigid and I personally prefer it because I feel like it's not wobbling and wibbling, it's firm. It literally feels like you can stamp the liner on your face. Anyway, I start in the middle of my eye. I look straight forward while I'm doing this and I just work in small sections. I keep this really, really close to my lash line, because I start off tight, because I find if you go too thick, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna fix it? Please let me know. Whereas if you keep it nice and thin, you're in control. You can go back in, you can add you can work in small sections, make your liner thicker. But yeah, start from the middle, pull it out, and then I work in small sections and I gradually get closer and closer to the inner part of my eye. I just love this pen. This is my new favorite eyeliner pen. Like, my eyeliner's never been so tea before, and I think because of how rigid and firm the tip was, it just gave me ultimate structure. Anyway, I went in with a little bit of the Inglot gel liner because this was before I decided I wanted a full wing. So I put a little bit on the very outer edge, and then I went in with a very thin small pencil brush and I just buffed it out. I could have left it like this, but no. Anyway, I also put that Inglot gel liner in my lower lash line, and I also tight lined my upper lash line. Hey, this was the beginning of chaos because one of my eyes started watering like crazy and I thought it was game over. My contact lens got so dry. Yeah, anyway, whatever. But then I took a small smudge brush and I smudged my lower lash line. I kept this very tight. You don't want nothing draggy, nothing, no, very demure, very pretty, but we do want it a little bit smudged out. I also then connected it to my upper lash line to kind of create this small little cutesy wing. I then went in, right, oh, okay, now is the tea. I'm going to zoom in. First thing you want to do is you want to look straight forward and you want to create a straight line extending from your tear duct area, straight line. Then you want to create another line going up into your upper lash line. You want a right angled triangle, basically. Can you see right angled triangle? Then you want to do the exact same thing on the other edge, down. So now you have two right angled triangles and then you can just fill it in. Then what I did, although you can't see, is I then just connected the pointy liner to the bottom so that the lower lash line was now completed and proper, as you can see I'm kind of doing here. Anyway, this next part, the reason you want to start with a straight line is because look, now you can just extend it. You can make it a little bit longer. Do you know what I mean? Nice and simple. Bob's your uncle. Then for this next, oh, okay, she's still extending. Always start off small with your liner, because if you start with long drag liner, then what will you do? Start small, you can extend. This next part is easy. All I literally did was I just created a line and I extended it into my lower lash line, and then that was it. I'm just fixing up the line, getting it to look as thick as I want it to look. It's literally it. And I'm telling you, this pen, bro, is so rigid, it's so firm, it's stunning, it's beautiful. I feel like if you're a beginner and you struggle with your eyeliner, buy this pen. Maybe it's the pen you're using. Anyway, did my outer wing. I started from my lower lash line and I extended it out, and because I had already created a wing with my Inglot gel liner, it was pretty easy for me. The shape was already there. So what I'm just doing is with the very tip of the pen, I am just creating a really straight line, adding structure, filling in any gaps where gaps are. But yeah, again, I think I told you at the beginning of this video, I don't know if this is informative, but I hope it informed somebody. I feel like the more I do this, the better I'll get. But yeah, do you see how before with the liner it was thin, now it's thick? Take time. Then I use this Plouise thing, I don't know what it's called, I'll put it in the description box. Anyway, I go in with a thin liner brush. This is actually a paint brush. I love these. Cheap and cheerful. You can get them in a pack of like 100 for quite cheap. I use this to kind of correct my liner, get it really sharp. And then I go in with a clean liner brush and I'm using this to basically buff out the blue so it's nice and diffused out, but I can also use it to fix up any mess. If you go too crazy with the blue and you get it on the black where it's not supposed to be, wait for it to dry. Once it's dried, you can then go back in with your black eyeliner, just go over the top, fix what needs fixing. But yeah, this is it. Yeah, make sure you go back in, make sure everything's blended out beautifully. Then I go in with this Beauty Bay High Key mascara. A few months ago, Beauty Bay gifted me this. Hey, PR queen, come true. I'm waiting for Danessa Myricks. You guys here, I'm telling you now, I want Danessa Myricks PR. I'm going to pray to my God. My God's gonna make it happen. Anyway, I'm going in with some eyeshadow glue. Yeah, eyeshadow glue, and I am just keeping it very close to my lash line, very tight. Those lashes that I showed you, they were from Shein, and I just cut them up into little clusters. I used the two outer clusters, and I literally just added those on top because I felt like a full lash would take away from all the drama. But yeah, this was basically it. I really hoped you enjoyed this video. I think if I can tell you one thing, is just blend and blend and blend and blend, then add some shimmer on top, because you know what it is, shimmer covers a lot of the mistakes. It's like the blood of Christ. He makes us, you know, white as snow. Our sin is like scarlet red. But yeah, anyway, and then I used the NYX brow tint pen and I added in the hair strokes at the front, because obviously we've been doing all that buffing into the brows. We need to bring the brow hairs back. Oh, I really do enjoy this brow tint pen. Like, just look at her, like, say no to thick scary brows. Guys, I really hoped you enjoyed this video as much as did I enjoy it? I don't know, but yeah. I'll see you next time. Thank you.
So this is the finished look. This is my base, this is my eyeshadow. I'm gonna do 2 separate videos on both of them. So if you're watching the eyeshadow one, go watch the base one. If you're watching the base one, go watch the eyeshadow one. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching my video. More to come. Like, I'm gonna try to be like a consistent Sally. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I feel like you should subscribe, because I did this makeup look on 125 calories, maybe 140 max. Like, all I have had today was a wafer bar from Lidl and a cup of tea. Like, this makeup look stressed me. At one point, I was ready to throw the towel in. God didn't raise a quitter. Okay, but yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoy.